she's kind enough to join us after the big weekend. So let's go to the Zoom machine and say hello to the happy warrior, Roxanne Modafferi. There she is. Roxy, how are you?
Oh my gosh, you kind of made me cry with all that. That was really awesome. Thank you. Yeah, it was exactly as you said, man. It was such an awesome week. You know, I got a lot of, you know, respect from people and a lot of people celebrating my career. And it was really, really cool. And it was made me so happy.
Was it hard to balance the emotions of all, you know, all these nice things being said about you and all that stuff, and then you have to go out and actually fight someone, and you know in the back of your mind, this is it for you. This is your last time doing it. Did you find it tricky at all to balance everything?
I don't know about balance, but it was very challenging overall because I have a lot of emotions about it. You know, I'm happy that I can move on. On the other hand, you know, I'm sad to be leaving, but I'm not having as much fun training MMA anymore. So it's a whole like whirlwind, and I'm trying to just take it all in and just focus. And I feel like I've been putting too much pressure on myself lately. Like, oh my gosh, you have to win Mortal Kombat, like aggression. And like, I kind of wanted to have more fun with this fight. So it was actually nice and a really good thing that people were being so positive about it. Cause it actually helped me like enjoy the moment. And I was able to be very clear headed, you know, walking to the cage and just feeling everybody's energy. So it helped me.
And by the way, I'd be remiss if I don't ask you, how are you feeling after the fight? Like
I feel good. No major injuries. My face is kind of swelled up.
Yeah.
Because I swell easily when I get punched, but I'm okay. Yeah, I feel relieved.
And how do you feel about your performance?
I honestly felt like it was one of my best striking performances. When I fought, I kind of came away thinking that I had won, and then I was disappointed by the decision. And then when I went home and I watched it last night, I felt like I touched her a lot. Like I punched her so much, like my hand was sore. And I was like, man, I punched her so much. But then I feel like maybe she got more significant strikes. Like she wasn't moving as much from my strikes as I was from hers. So that's probably why the judges like gave it to her. So I was like, all right, I can accept that. But I was really proud of my performance. I felt really sharp. And I felt like I had improved even from my last fight. I felt like all my hard work kind of paid off, except that I didn't get to win. I have couple of things that I wish I could have done, but I threw some of my spinning attacks that I'd wanted to do. I landed a back kick. I landed a kibosh, which is something that I kind of want to do. And she smiled at me and then she started yelling and I was like, oh, she's powering up. This is so cool. Yeah. And I would have yelled too, but I was breathing too hard. It was cool. Like I enjoyed that fight. Like it was good. It was a good one.
You said that there were a couple of things that you wish you would have done. Like what?
I wish I could have gotten her to the ground, but I didn't really sense the opportunity. Like she grew like as an outsider, like it was impressive how she improved herself leading up to my fight. Like I expected her to charge forward. You know, she tends to like to do that. So I was preparing for that, but instead we both like were better at keeping our distance. Like I didn't feel her coming forward quite so hard. Like I would have shot and taken her down more. And then she stuffed one of my takedowns. Like, all right, she's ready for my takedowns. And so it was kind of a tactical battle and she got me a little bit more, but yeah, I would have liked to have taken her down, but I didn't really sense as many chances.
Just curious, after the fight was over, because you had so much fun and because you said you felt like you fought well, was there any part of you that's like, I don't want this to end just yet. Maybe I'll do one more. Was there any doubt in your mind? No.
No.
No. Okay. Just curious how that stuff goes. Were you happy that they gave you the microphone? That doesn't always happen.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. I wish, man, because Daniel had interviewed me after my title fight when I lost. And that was one of my most memorable moments because I lost and I was sad, but then the crowd cheered so loudly.
Yeah.
And then he came over. I was like, man, it's like the same thing. Like I'm still like a fan favorite, but I lost. But it was nice that they let me say something and that was really cool.
By the way, when you take the gloves off, do you get them back? Does someone give them to you?
I asked my friend Tom Lawler the same thing. I'm like, so we put our gloves down, like, I still want them. He's like, no, you send someone back to go get them. So I think my fiance or one of my coaches went back into the ring afterwards and grabbed them after they're done.
Okay, you have those. Yeah, because I don't want them to just like toss them in the garbage or something like that.
Yeah.
What do you think you'll do with those?
Keep them.
Okay. Maybe frame them
on the wall or something.
You mentioned this just a couple of minutes ago, and you also mentioned it last week too in your media about not having as much fun training anymore. When you say that, what do you mean by that? Like the grind, or something about like the sport, or like what do you mean? Because it always seems like you're having fun. So when you say that to me, it feels very pronounced in my mind. Like, wow, you are always having fun. Why aren't you having fun? So could you expand on that? What aren't you having fun with, or weren't having fun with now that it's over?
Well, one was that I started getting headaches after sparring. So like I was spending most of my day like stressed out that I was going to get hit and concussed. And then I finally figured out how to wear headgear, and like that problem got better. But then like people like pull on it and I get stuck, and I want to do jujitsu, but like my head gets pinned. The other time it was funny. I was training with Lauren Murphy. She visited me. She had me in jujitsu. We're doing jujitsu in our sparring, and she had me like almost in an arm bar, almost like I was on top and she was under. But she didn't have my arm, but she was pushing on my headgear, and the strap was like choking me.
Oh,
so like it was funny, but it sucked. And then just people go really hard these days, and like young people just kind of like I want to train this one move that we learned in class, and someone else is doing a different move and like muscling me around, and I'm like, dang it, I want to like, I don't know, it's just kind of like my style of training is not on par with certain other people's, and it's just like frustrating. Like I'm trying to find my groove in training, and it's not the same.
Leading up to the fight on Saturday, what was the best part? Like what happened? I saw you you went to the media, you took a nice photo in front of the media. Izzy saying some very nice things about you as well, which was really, really cool to see. Like for you, what was the best part?
I think the best part was getting recognition from my peers. Like Sean wrote that awesome article and interviewed like Tara LaRosa and like Jeff Osborne and other people who said nice things. And also just being able to thank the media, because you guys are awesome. And the UFC staff were like clapping for me sometimes and wishing me well. And that was really cool. And like, I'm just a non-athletic dorky girl who likes anime, who wants to be, who's a martial artist, and just being recognized for all the hard work that I've done that I didn't really expect to get recognition for was really, really cool. So yeah.
If you could have like written this script and your story, at least your active, competition story ends in the UFC getting this kind of love. And I would have told you this is how it's going to end. Like 10 years ago, we were, the first time I think I met you was Hoffman Estates, 2009, before the Marlos Kunin fight. Could you have ever imagined that it would have ended like this in the UFC, that everyone's giving you this love, and you're legitimately a fan favorite in front of like 16, 17,000 people? Did this exceed your expectations?
Way exceeded my expectations. Yeah. I couldn't have imagined it. Like someone posted a picture of me after my very first fight in Japan, and then me now. I was like, man, like if that me could only see a glimpse of now, like, gosh, like you're actually in the UFC, you accomplished your dream, and like people love you. Like, it's so cool. Holy crap. Unbelievable.
What was the goal of that young woman who just got into Japan? Like, what did you think the ceiling was for you?
Just to fight in the octagon. That was it.
That was it. Just make it to the UFC.
Just to fight. Yeah.
Okay. Not have this whole thing, not have a title fight, not become just to make it once.
Yes.
So this was all gravy the last few years.
Absolutely.
Were you ever close to quitting at any point prior to this?
Yes. Yes.
When?
I was close to quitting after I lost season against Raquel Pennington after the season 18 of The Ultimate Fighter. And then I trained at Syndicate for like 3 months. I found Coach John, and I felt like I had improved. And then I got signed to fight Tara LaRosa, and I was on like a 5-fight losing streak then. Mm-hmm. And I told myself, you quit your job, you move back to the States, you focused on fighting full time for like months. If you still can't win this fight, Roxanne Modafferi, you better figure out something to do, because you got to make money. You got to you're in your mid 30s, like figure it out. So, or early 30s. So if I hadn't won against Tara, I probably would have retired then.
Wow.
But I did win.
That is amazing. That's a lot of pressure on someone going into a fight. Were you super nervous?
Yeah. Yeah. I was.
What would you have done had you lost that fight?
Oh gosh, who knows? Try to apply for jobs, I guess. I don't know.
Right. Wow.
Write a resume.
That article that you referenced that Sean wrote for MMA Fighting with all those people saying all those nice things about you, did you know that was coming out?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God. So what is it like waking up?
You tweeted
Oh,
it. You retweeted it. I was like, what? Arrow tweeted this thing and linked me. So then I found it.
And so what is going through your mind? This is early morning in Houston when I did that, at least. I don't know. I think you saw it shortly thereafter, last Tuesday, I think. What do you like? What is happening to you as you're reading? It's very odd, I would imagine, in a great way, to have like all these people that you probably respect and love and admire just saying all these beautiful, things about you, these wonderful things about you. So what is going on as you're reading this?
I just feel very fulfilled and very honored and just giving myself some credit because I'm so hard on myself, so it's like, finally, this is when I can give myself some credit.
Only now,
Fine.
After 19 years, 50 fights, you can only give yourself credit now. You weren't able to do so earlier?
I do, I do, but I always feel like I'm running a race. I believe in MMA, we have to run the race. You can never be stagnant. You always have to improve. You're always struggling to rise in the rankings, be number one, fight the title fight. And now it's finally like, you don't have to run the race anymore. It's okay. So I feel like a sense of relief where I'm allowed to look back and say, I did a good job.
Oh, okay. Does it feel like a weight has been lifted off your shoulders?
Huge. Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I would imagine that feels good. Despite the emotions of it coming to an end, that must feel really great.
Yes, especially because I felt like I performed very well. Like, it really sucked that I lost, but my previous losses against like Viviani and Tyla, those were worse because I felt like I couldn't do what I wanted to do. Like, I was very frustrated in the fight. But for this one, like, Errol, I hit her so much. Like,
yeah.
I mean, she hit me back, of course. But it was just a great brawl, and it was just a fun fight and very memorable. And I was proud of myself.
What do you think of young Casey O'Neill? She got booed pretty loudly there and cut an Ally Quinta promo on the microphone. What do you think of her overall as a fighter and as a person now that you've shared the octagon with her?
I'm still trying to figure her out. She didn't, touch gloves with me, but after the fight, she said it was an honor and she bowed down. I was surprised she did that. And she was very respectful to me. She said hi to me on the airplane, was very friendly. But then she cussed out and flipped out the crowd. So I'm not gonna, if she's trying to be a heel, I don't want to I don't want to ruin her image, but yes. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure her out, but I think I like her. I think she's going to go far.
Did it bum you out that she didn't touch gloves?
I didn't have too much time to think about it, but it was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I totally forgot to step on the scale and I strode straight toward her at the weigh-in. So I kind of showed aggression as well. So I didn't mind too much.
That is true. That is true. You were on the same flight together to Houston?
No, we were on the same flight going home.
Oh, like yesterday?
Yeah, like she was like right across from me.
Oh my God. What was that like?
I sat there staring, wondering how she got her hair to stick up in a bun for so long.
Wow. Did you say anything to each other?
Yeah, she said hi to me.
And that was it?
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. And so, all right. So I remember talking to you at the very beginning of this training camp, once the fight got announced and you made the announcement. And I'm just curious about, I do this sort of thing where it's like, oh, this is my last time doing this. Like if I know a chapter is ending in my life, right? Were you that way in the build up to leaving for Houston? Like this is my last time doing the last sparring, last this. And if so, how were you throughout this training camp? Were you a ball of emotions? Were you just kind of focused and didn't let it, how would you describe the way you handled all these final moments leading up to the fight?
Good question. The way I handled it was I wanted to make sure I wouldn't regret anything about my choices or my actions. So I wanted to make sure if I had to make hard decisions, I'll make them, but I just didn't want to regret anything, Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, I'm very pleased with my decisions. And yes, I was, allowing myself to feel the emotions of it. Like, oh, this is my last week. Like, this is my last sparring session. And I tried 100% effort. And then it was over. And I was like, yes, I did it. It's done. I don't have to worry about getting punched in the head again. Unless I decide to train with, my friends. Yeah. Pretty much that'll be the only time, like if I need to help them with their fight camps or whatever. But I don't have to stress about martial arts as my job and income. Like I'm excited to just do. But anyway, to go back to your question, yes, I was allowing myself to enjoy each moment and tell myself, yeah, it's my last one. do your best, and then celebrate it when I finished.
I'm curious, I feel like this happened, but did other fighters come up to you throughout the week and say anything to you, and any of those interactions stick out?
Uh, yes, actually, Jordan Levitt, the Monkey King,
Uh-huh.
he turned into a big part of my camp, like
Oh,
near the later half. He helped me spar. We did some private sparring sessions with him and a couple other people. He gave me different looks. Like we've been teammates for like 8 or 9 years, and he's always bigger than me, but we do jujitsu together. But anyway, after the fight, he had said that I was the reason he came to Syndicate, because he saw me fight on The Ultimate Fighter and then came to Syndicate.
wow.
And he looked up to me as like someone who wasn't afraid to be themselves, because he's also kind of like nerdy and, awkward sometimes.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, wow, cool. Like I hadn't known that he came because of me. And I was like an inspiration, and like people sometimes call him the male Roxy or something in the
Yeah.
UFC. So that was really cool that I had that effect on him. So that was something that I remember.
That's amazing. And then what about like other fighters who were fighting on the card? Did people come up to you all week in the hotel and stuff like that? 271 card fighters.
A couple did. A couple, yeah, said, good luck and happy retirement. And I got to, at the weigh-ins, I got to thank Izzy for saying those nice things about me. So
Oh,
that was
wow.
cool.
What was that like?
We actually were in the same locker room twice in the past before he became like a superstar. So we had met, but then, yeah, I got to say like, hey, thanks for saying the nice things. And he was like, oh, no problem. Good luck. And it was just a nice interaction.
Did you see Dana White's comments about you after the fight at his press conference? He said that this will
Oh, I
always
didn't.
be
What did he say?
he said essentially that, that they love you and that this will always be your house, that the UFC will always be your house.
Oh, that's so nice.
Okay. Did he say anything to you privately after the fight?
I didn't run into him after the fight. He said,
Okay.
Shook my hand and said good luck before the fight, of course.
Okay. And so now that this chapter is over, you're going to be teaching jiu-jitsu, right? You're still going to be in combat sports. I know your fiance competes as well. Do you have any goals, aspirations completely outside of the combat world that you're going to tackle or want to tackle?
Let's see. I haven't quite finalized or figured that out yet. So,
But would
I
you
do
like,
want to do jujitsu, teach jujitsu. I want to finish my third book. I'm like almost done. So hopefully I will publish that, this year sometime.
what is it about?
It's a sequel to my memoirs book. So Memoirs of a Happy Warrior 2.
Wow. Wait, so this is your third book. What was what was
This is
what was the first book?
The first book was Memoirs of a Happy Warrior,
Yeah.
about my life as an exchange student. The second one was How to Be Positive.
Ah, yes.
The third one will be another memoirs. Yeah.
Okay. And this covers, I would imagine, like the whole UFC run, right?
Yes, it'll cover from my graduation from college to like now.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So from Japan to UFC to Invicta and all that. The Ultimate Fighter diaries I'm putting in there because I journaled extensively.
Oh, really? Wow. Which one? The first one or the second one?
Both of them.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of diaries, I actually on Saturday was looking at your MySpace page because the real OG fans will know what the MySpace page was legendary back in the day.
I couldn't find the link. Do you still have access to it?
I mean, all I had to do was type it in, and I think it's myspace.com/RoxyFighter. But here's the problem, Roxy, and I guess this is not going to make you very excited. I couldn't find the blog.
Oh.
But it's up here.
Was it blank?
It says, if you go to myspace.com/RoxyFighter, there's the picture of you wearing the MMA.tv shirt, right? And
what? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and
later. I gotta figure this out.
I was like reminiscing about it because that's how I was introduced to you via your MySpace page back in the day. It says Kanto, Japan. I can't read the first. What's the first? Kita Namorukian? Kanto, Japan? Is that the town that you lived in?
Probably. Yeah.
Okay, that's where it says your location is. But I wanted to find the blogs, but the blogs aren't here. Did you save them or no?
No, I didn't. I think I have like a private journal with that information, but I think I wrote the blogs like for the public more.
Right.
So the information's there. I don't have the blog, but yeah, I will go look for it because one of my fans was the one who gave me my nickname, and I wanted to go thank them. Like I have no idea who they are.
That's
One of the fans gave
amazing.
me my nickname.
When was that?
I was in so sometime 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Right. And just a fan just sent it to you, like via like, how did they give you this nickname?
Oh, I ranted on my blog about these unpleasant things that happened to me. And then I was like, but at least this happened and this happened. And I said some positive thing. And the fan goes, oh, you are the happy warrior.
Wow.
I said, yeah.
I was hoping, just for nostalgia purposes, that you would come out with this bad boy just for fun for the old school fans.
Oh.
Was there any thoughts of it?
I didn't think about it.
Do you still have these?
I have a couple.
You signed this one for me.
Uh-huh.
I will never let go of this. And so you will, though, you will be in the world of combat, jiu-jitsu, all this stuff. But I feel like there's a part of you that would like to do something completely outside. You just don't quite know what it is, but you would like to spread your wings a little bit. Is that fair to say?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay. All right. We're keeping it close to our vests on this one. I appreciate it. And when you look back, like when you're older and you're thinking back on your career, if someone wanted to watch the quintessential Roxy fight, your favorite fight of all time, which is it?
Oh my gosh. What do you think, Ariel? I want your opinion.
Oh my. You want me to pick what my favorite Roxy fight is, or what I think your favorite fight is?
What your top 2 favorites?
Well, to me, like, the Macy Barber fight is very, very special because I felt like, it was a big card. It was the Conor fight, right? And I felt like they were trying to build up Macy off your back. And you were like, not today. I'm not done. You're not going to use me as a stepping stone. She's young. I've been around the block. I'm here. I'm a veteran. I still got some fight left. So I hate to pick a UFC one just because I want to be more of like a hipster and pick like an old school fight. But I think I'd have to pick the and I'll get your take when I'm done this. And then I want to go old school. Let me see. Man, that's tough. I remember that Musin card with you and Tyler Rosa. That was crazy. Mariusz Pudzianowski fought on that one. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
The huge strongman guy.
Right.
That was crazy. First Marloes Kunin fight was big time. That was big time. The Andrea Lee win in Invicta was a big time one. I'll go with the Barb Honchak one was great too. I'll go with the first Marloes Kunin one because I thought that was huge, and the Macy Barber fight.
Okay, cool.
What do you say?
Yeah, all my UFC fights were scraps everywhere. So,
but I don't have like an emotional investment like you do to these fights because you don't know where you were in your life and what was going. And I don't know, where you were in your life. So when you say like your favorite fight, if someone wanted to go back and watch the Happy Warrior fight, the Roxanne Modafferi fight, which is it?
Probably the fight with Nico, my title fight.
Really?
And then you know what I was just thinking? I was thinking this on the drive to do chores today. One of the fights that inspired me to really go do MMA was Robbie Lawler and Aaron Riley.
Really?
Remember that fight?
Of course.
UFC 35, and like Aaron Riley just kept coming forward and Robbie Lawler kept tagging him, and they just had like a brawl. And I was like, I told myself, like, Roxy, you're thinking about MMA. Are you willing to do that fight? Are you willing to get busted up and bleed and like whatever? Like, will you do that fight? And I looked at that fight and I was inspired by Aaron Riley. And I was like, he's getting beat up, but he never stopped going forward. And I think I might have had that fight.
Wow. Yes. That is amazing.
I kept going forward. I kept trying to so it made me feel kind of good when I thought of it this morning. Like this last fight, I think was one of my best performances. Like a lot of people online were still dissing my striking ability. Like, okay, I'm not Joanna Jędrzejczyk. It's fine. But for me, that was really good.
Yeah.
Me, I had improved, and I'm able to say like, hey, I worked hard and I improved. So probably this last fight with Casey, I felt sharp. And then my Nico fight, I just kept going forward and I just wanted to win and do my best.
So first of all, the way you speak of that Aaron Riley fight and how you say like, oh, this last fight was that fight, that's your career. It's not just the fight. Like you just kept going forward. It's really symbolic of your career. However, Roxy, and this is also symbolic of you picked 2 losses. You can't pick 2 losses. Why would you pick 2 losses? You picked 2 fights that you lost as your favorite fights. That makes no sense. You got to give us a
Well,
victory.
I was, okay. Barb Honchak.
Barb Honchak? Why?
Yeah. Because I overcame this loss that I had 7 years ago, and I did really well, and I took her down, and I managed to finish the fight.
Okay, that is a good reason. In conclusion, what do you maybe something that you didn't have a chance to say? Is there anything you want to say to the fans, to all the people who have supported you for all these years and have been watching you and had your back through the good times, through the bad times? Anything you'd like to say to those people?
Yeah, you guys are like my friends. Like, don't stop watching me. I'm still going to go on adventures. I'm still going to post on social media. I'm still going to entertain you guys. We're together. Like, I'm your fighter girl.
Yeah.
Roxy fighter. I'm your fighter girl. So don't stop watching. It's only crossroads. We're still going.
I love it. And I'm happy to hear that. And I want to congratulate you on an incredible career, Roxy. It's really been amazing. I'll never forget the first time I met you in Hoffman Estates outside of Chicago. And you knew who I was, and that blew my mind. I was like, at that point, you had been fighting, for almost a decade. And I was like, you know who I am? That blew my mind. You were so nice. You were always so nice to me. You gave me the book. You gave me this gift for the studio, and I brought it with me to every stop, ESPN, back, and all that stuff. You've really been a great friend and a great person to cover. So congratulations on always being you and doing it your way and never quitting and never letting people tell you that you're not good enough and that you don't belong and that you're not athletic enough. Like, you did it your way, and not a lot of people could say that. Win or lose, doesn't matter what your record is. The fact that you did it your way for almost 20 years and made it to the pinnacle of this sport, you have nothing to be ashamed of. So congratulations on an incredible career, and it was a real joy to watch you fight, and I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you, Ariel.
All right. I will talk to you soon. All the best to you. And again, thank you for coming on as always. And congrats on a great fight on Saturday. It was a really fun fight to watch. It was quintessential Roxy, if I could say so myself. So I appreciate it.
Woo!
Enjoy it and enjoy retirement.
Thank you so much.
All right. There she is, Roxanne Modafferi, the legend, the last of the OGs.